Merry Christmas to everybody. Hope you're having a fab day. You know, you're meant to have chocolates first thing on Christmas morning. That's a rule in our house. Anyway, so I'm just this is the first time I've been on here, so a thank you to everyone who, Veronica and Stacey's going to be looking after me, she said. And I am a spiritual medium, so I will be doing spiritual readings today. And what I do is I wait until someone comes through for spirit. They guide me to who I need to work with, and then we just do the messages for there, if that's okay with everyone, for that as well. So absolutely. Just waiting on, it's a list of everyone that's going to be on today. Oh my days. It's a huge day. It's a huge day for everyone. As I say, I wait on spirit coming through, and they take me to where I need to be. Once I'm with you, once I say your name, if you could just come right back in and say hello to me, I know that you've not disappeared out of the way of things for that also. So thank you. So let's see who we're bringing forward first. We are bringing forward a gentleman first. So let me see where I am going next. Lovely Christmas trees for today, please. Santa Clauses and Christmas trees. Absolutely. Now, I kind of go where they take me, Stace, if that's okay with you. Christine Maris, please. Christine Maris, please, if I can connect with yourself, and I hope I'm pronouncing your second name properly. If not, I apologise. Christine Maris, please. Hi, can I just get a wee hello for you? That'll be perfect so that I know that you're still there. And all I'm looking for is confirmation about the information that this gentleman's going to be giving me. And this gentleman is a very strong, busy gentleman when he was in his height, Christine, and he is making me feel that there was like, everything had to be kind of done. Do you know what I mean? I'm just getting the feeling that it's like it wasn't one for to be wasting time or wasting anybody's time. Do you know what I mean? I'll take this off. I could probably see better without my glasses. And he is one of these people that's like things had to be done properly and things had to be done correctly, is what I'm getting for this gentleman. He has got a heart of gold though. Do you know, he's got a beautiful heart. He's got a heart of gold with him, Christine, and absolutely aware of the energy that he gives out, you know, but he would have given that when he was here, and he's surrounding my kitchen with all this beautiful energy. And I want to pass that down to you, do you know, so I'm hoping if you, all through this, if you get a little bit of goosebumps, perfect, you know that your dad's there, do you know, that as well. I don't do private and public, that's my one rule. Well, I've got a few, but that's one of my rules that's there. So I hint round things. Christine, your dad's making me feel that I want to hone things in with you. Do you know, it's like I want to just bring things in with you, because he says you're a bit here, there and everywhere just now. Do you know, not just for the Christmas period, please, but in general that he's talking about, Christine, okay? And he's just making me aware. He says, listen, he says, you don't have to do everything at once. Don't do everything at once. He says, narrow it down a little bit and do a couple of things at a time, okay? Absolutely aware of the gentleman's focus, and he's talking about focus for you. And he says, listen, he says, people will give you all this advice about what you want to do, he says, but at the end of the day, it's your choice. Do you know, it's your choice for that as well. Now, you've got a similar heart to this gentleman. Do you understand, Christine? You've got a similar heart too. His energy, do you know, and to who he was when he was here for that as well. This gentleman would have been kind of like the glue that held the family. Do you know, I get that from him also. I also get a bit of cheekiness, and we need to talk about the cheekiness of him, Christine, and we need to talk about the jokes and the bad dad jokes is what I'm hearing. He's also shown me a joke book that somebody would have gifted him, and it went on and on all day, Christine. Do you know what I mean? So all these jokes were coming out and you're like, no more. Do you know what I mean? No more for that as well. The gentleman's talking about February next year for you, Christine, and he's making me feel that your vibration will be lifted. So this is a lift in your vibration, but it's a lift in you as well, Christine, okay? So he's just made me feel the lifts there. And when he talks about that lift, he says it's about time. Do you understand? He says it's about time that you started looking after you more. He says, because you're very good at the giving, we need to bring it in for that. He's put the pink energy around you, Christine, and he's just made me feel pink energy for me is heart energy, but it's also self-love energy as well. So if you could understand, that needs to be brought in with you as well. Self-love, self-care, and self-worth. Do you know that he's bringing all these things into you today for that as well? He's also making me feel when I want to go to like August for a reason. So if you can understand August for a birthday or a passing or an anniversary. Do you know, I don't usually do the passing, but this is what he's bringing in for you as well, okay? Christine, he's talking about, like, this year, he says, this year's kind of been, you've been like drudging through mud this year, and he says, it's been hard going for you. Do you know, he says, but listen, you never gave up, he says, and that's what you need to remember. And he says also, Christine, you need to remember the energy that it took for you to get yourself out of that. Because you need to remember that, he says. You're just kind of moving to the side thinking, oh, that's done and dusted. But he says, listen, you need to remember that you had a strong personality to get you out for where you were. Do you know? So absolutely aware through for that as well. I do see the holly wreath being placed at in a cemetery, please. And it's a beautiful holly wreath. It's like, it's not just your traditional red, green and white. There's different things that's in there. I feel like I've got bits of cinnamon and stuff like that that's put in, Christine. And he says, but that suits you. Do you know what I mean? He says, that suits you. He's making me, I know that we're on Christmas Day here, but he's making me tell you to, like, you need to make a list. He says, you have to make a list. Narrow it down, make a list. And he says, that'll give you the focus that you need for next year. And then, as I say, I think it was March, I said, that is definitely for the lift for you. Okay, so that brings everything in and around for you for that as well. And he says, listen, he says, it's a different year. A week's time, you'll not even be in this year. Leave as much as you can here, Christine, he says, and take all the good stuff into next year for that as well. He is talking about a door opening up to you, but he says it's not happening until about September, so the door opens up to you. New possibilities, new stuff that's coming into you. At the end of the day, he says, why would you close it? He says, get that open and get through there, he says, and enjoy everything that's happening round about you for that as well. Stop giving yourself a hard time, he says. Do you know what? There's people out there that will do it for you. Stop giving yourself a hard time and just enjoy. And he says, you've heard the creaking or you've heard the noises of this gentleman walking around your house for that as well. And he says, I can't be quiet. He says, most of our stairs creak. So if you could take that also, bring all that energy in for your dad. So it's so lovely to hear for your dad on Christmas Day, Christine. Thank you so much for working with me. And I thank the gentleman for working with me also. Okay, let's see who's coming forward for me next. I want to go to Bernadette Connolly, please. Bernadette Connolly, please. Thank you. Bernadette, there's a lady that steps forward, and honestly, it's like your name just went up and she came right in. And she was like, there she is. So she's very keen to, like, come through to you. Bernadette, she's making me feel that she's tried to come through before, but the door wasn't open for her, is what she's talking about. So I don't know who you went to see, like a medium or church or something like that. But she says she was really trying to get through to you, Bernadette, but there was so many other people there, do you know, and she says it's so lovely to have that one-to-one with you again for that as well. I'm getting taken to Christmas Eve with this lady, and you would have made, like, I don't know, shortbread, gingerbread men, or, cakes and things like that. Do you know, she's got quite a sweet tooth though, Bernadette, as well. Do you know, she's got quite a sweet tooth. And in the latter years, she wasn't allowed to have all that, but somebody would have sneaked sweeties into this lady. Absolutely aware of the sore throat, because I feel it's like she's taking me to your throat area. And Bernadette, when she takes me to your throat area, it is to do with, like, the words are stuck here, and she says they've been stuck for a bit too long, do you know? So if you understand the need to speak to someone or speak your mind, and I'm saying this, and she's like, it's nothing to do with that at all. Your grandma is very straight to the point. If you could understand speaking up for yourself, then that's the words that the lady wants to use for you. And she's also making me aware. She says, listen, what goes around comes around. Just sit back. She says, just sit back and watch the fireworks. She says, it's nothing to do with you now. She says, it's to do with the people that's in and around you for that as well. But try and say this. I know we've only got a week left, but try and say this, or try and get this said, because it's choking here. So if you could understand sore throats, but not medical sore throats, that's what's coming up. If your throat chakra starts giving you problems and you can feel it down into here, the words are needing to come right out, Bernadette, for that as well. This lady is making me aware of a little sort of white curly-haired dog, please, that comes through with her. I don't know what kind of breed it is. I do apologise, but it looks like a wee Scotty dog, but it's got tighter curly hair, Bernadette, okay? And it's like, dodgy thyroid. I'll take that dodgy thyroid, though, Bernadette, but I do want to give you to get the words out as well, you know. So it's not just a medical thing, it's getting the words out. This wee dog that comes through, don't know if it's your grandma's or if it's someone in the family, but the wee dog represents like unconditional love. Now that tells me as a symbol that you need to have more love for you, do you know, because it's unconditional. It's like, let's love ourselves, let's give ourselves compliments, let's give ourselves, you know, a compliment. And again, the ladies like that. This lady is making me aware of the corner of your eye, which tells me it's like you have either glimpsed this lady or you're aware of this lady that comes forward with that as well. She means no nonsense, Bernadette. The sleeves get rolled up and she's like that, right, let's get this done. And what she's telling you to let's get done is let's get 2025 started. She says, listen, she says, you'll go to your bed, you'll wake up, it'll be like a brand new, not just a brand new, thank you very much, not just a brand new day, but a brand new year for you, for that as well. She says, listen, she says, didn't bother with all that, oh, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that business. She says, I would love to see you just working on yourself for the first like 3 to 4 months, making yourself, you know, not better as medically better, but making yourself you better. Do you know that she's coming through with that, Bernadette? She's also making me feel, she says, time and time, to understand. I know she said, like, you know, what goes around comes around, but she's putting a positive slant on it for you, please. She's putting the white karma in and around you. And she says, listen, just go with the flow, go with the flow. And she says, everything will start working out. So please, 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 don't give yourself a hard time for it. Something didn't work this year, then it probably wasn't the time for it to work. So if you could understand a new project that you tried to get off the ground that didn't do it, and maybe it wasn't the time for it, it wasn't your fault, it's just the way that circumstances go. She's taking me to July for that to reoccur, and she says then you'll be in a better position and you'll be better financially and everything when it comes time to doing that new project for you. Just as a suggestion, do you know what I mean? It's like, do it on the day of a new moon, because that's the best day to do new projects. Bernadette, thank you so much for working with me, and a thank you to the lady that came through. Let's see where let's see where the gentleman's taken me. Gentleman. Right, there he's taking me there. Joe White, please. Joe White, can I have your attention? Not your attention, I do apologise for that. Joe White, hi, Joe. This gentleman that steps forward is a major character in the family. Do you know what I mean? He's just one of these gentlemen that very old school in old ways, do you know, in and around him, Bernadette, but very much feeling that he's got like a lot to give to the family. Do you know what I mean? I'm aware of the Santa Claus energy of him, and what this symbolises is that children would have magneted to him. Do you know what I mean? They would have been drawn to him in the family. I was going to say Bernadette there, Joe. Absolutely aware that children would have been drawn to this gentleman, Joe, and he's just making me feel, he says, oh no, he says, this was part of the core. And I don't know if you remember as a child, it's like, you know, when you sort of held on to, like, you know, dad's leg or something, and he walked with you on that leg, he's given me this with you, do you know? And he's like, oh, he says, I couldn't get rid of her at one point. He says she was clinging round about me, but he loved it. Do you know what I mean? That he's bringing that forward. He's raising a bottle of, sorry, not raising, do apologise, giving you a bottle of champagne, Joe, but he's giving me it for like about sort of, give me the month, March, April, May. He's giving me the bottle of champagne for May, which is big celebrations, do you know? And so he's bringing forward the celebrations in May for you. And he says, listen, he says, January, February, we're kind of easing you into 25. They're talking about the easiness of your energy into 25. He says, don't get too upset. He says, let's just take our time and get things organised round about you. So if you could understand the busy, not just Christmas, please, but the busyness of the last like 45 months. Do you know, I'm trying to figure in my head how long that is. But the busyness that's been going on. He says, we just need to slow things down. He says, you're burning out. And he's really scared that your well-being is getting burnt out, you know. So it's amazing, Joe. It's brilliant to give. Do you know what I mean? It's brilliant to help people, and it's amazing what some people can do. But we need to replenish, you know, and it's like that. And he's making me feel that your cup's kind of, you know, dipping down. If you were a phone, Joe, he's giving me 30%, which isn't all that good. So always remember this little quote, please, because I use it with every reading near enough. You cannot give from an empty cup. If there is nothing left of you to give, that is a total drain on you. And the gentleman's just made me feel, if you're giving, we need to replenish. So remember, what you give out, you need to sort of energize yourself with to bring your energy up for that as well. There's more than this gentleman that sits around you, Joe. Do you understand? There's more of this gentleman that sits around you. There's at least, at the back of me, there's at least like 2 ladies and another gentleman. And the 2 ladies, they're all connected. Do you understand? It's there. And what they've done is they've brought the talker through, they say. They've brought the talker through. He's like the front man. And he's the one that came through for you, Joe. And he is making me feel that as well. You can replenish. Do you know the best way to replenish your energy, Joe? Is to take a walk in the forest or a park area. No children, no dogs, just yourself and a little bit of melodic music, and just take yourself for a walk. That absolutely lifts your energy. Do you know? Or sitting in the garden if you've got a beautiful garden to sit in. Anywhere where there's no anybody else about, though, that he's bringing that forward. The ladies showed me like a lot of shot 'em, but they put like other people's names on it. So do you understand there's a need for you to treat yourself, Joe, if that makes sense? The ladies are saying it's about time you treated yourself, just to give yourself a wee boost and a wee lift, do you know, for that as well. One of the ladies has also shown me the tier cakes, do you know, for a sort of high tea. And I'm seeing the cakes like that, do you know, the plates like that with the cakes and everything on it for that as well, which she would have enjoyed when she was here, you know, for that as well. I'm also hearing the words, I know it's not, listen, Stacey, I'm not going to do that. I'm not swearing or anything, but they're kind of telling me to tell you, like, oh, to hang with them. Do you know, just let them go, just let them be. Do you know, because some situation keeps dragging you in, do you know, and it is to do with like, because I maybe feel like I want to put your feet firmly on the ground, and I am not budging, I am not getting connected with that, and I am not getting into that issue or whatever it is that's in and around you. So you're right to hold back, Joe, and just keep that energy fast and keep it strong, and everything's starting to sort of move. So remember, the first couple of months, quiet, then things start to get a bit busier for you, but you need the rest. So get yourself in the garden or get yourself along to like a forest area. But thank you so much for working with me, Joe. Thank you so much. Thank you to the lady, the gentleman and all the ladies that came forward there. Let's see. Loving the Christmas trees. Love that you put wee Christmas trees in that up. I did this yesterday and it was just amazing. Who's this lady going to? Michelle. That's fine. Michelle Oliver, please. Michelle Oliver, please. If you could come back in. There's a lady standing next to me, please. Michelle Oliver, please. I hope you're still there. Michelle Oliver. Where did she go? There, she's in blue. That's it. We've got her. Stacey's got her. Michelle Oliver, please. Hi. Merry Christmas. This lady, Michelle, as she stepped forward, she's got this kind energy around about her. Now, what she's doing is she's giving me this persona of her, do you know? And it's not like she's too thingy or anything, do you understand? But she's showing me this beautiful kindness there. But do you know what? At the back of that, there's a strong woman that stands there. And she wouldn't have taken any nonsense, Michelle. Do you know what I mean? She wasn't that type of lady. She says, look, if everyone was going great, I'm great. She says, but no. Very protective of the family, Michelle. Do you know what I mean? Because she made me feel like mother hen-like. Do you know? It's like gathering the chicks. That she's made me feel. And she is talking about gathering the chicks, Michelle. Do you know what I mean? She's very much feeling that that's a part of things round about you. She says when this lady passed, a couple of people in the family went into themselves to grieve. Do you know, you didn't grieve all as a family. She says some people needed to be on their own to grieve, to come to terms with this lady's passing, please, Michelle. And she says, that's okay. She says, but can we try and bring everybody back together again now? She says, because this isn't a time for separation. You know, she said, this is a time for everybody coming together for that also. The lady's also shown me a ring. Do you know, it's not a very, it's quite old, obviously, but it's not very broad. Do you know, it's just like a thin band that is there, but it would never have come off this lady's finger, not even if she was doing things, do you understand, like baking or anything, and never came off her finger, she says. Now, someone has got this and it's sitting in the dark, so it's sitting in a ring box or a jewellery box or something. It needs to be aired, she says. Get that energy and get that aired for that as well. Even if they're sitting holding it, a wee bit of psychometry is amazing. So she says, even if they're sitting holding it, she says, just feeling my energy round about for that as well. Definitely an elder lady, Michelle, definitely an elder lady when she's coming forward. But she's quite a versatile person, do you know, she's very, very adept at different things, Michelle, do you know what I mean? Is how I'm picking up for that. And she's also making me aware that it's like it's time. And she's talking about it's time for you. She says it's your time now, your time to do what you want to do. She says the family's kind of doing what they do. But she says, now we need to concentrate. Sorry, not we. I do apologise, Michelle. Now you need to concentrate on you. She says, where are you going? What are you doing? What is in 2025 for you? She says, listen, she says, it's like opening a new door. Do you know, she says, just get that door open. She says, see what's there for you. Do you know what I mean? And just walk through that door for that also. In the situation, or there's a situation round about you just now, Michelle, that the lady's making me feel that you've got 1 foot in and 1 foot out. Do you know, and she says, do you know, do I stay in this situation? Do I move? Do I do this? Do I do that? She says, we need to kind of switch the emotions off a wee bit with this one because you need to think with your head, not with your heart, the lady says, Michelle. So it has to do with, because if you do the emotions, you'll never move. She says, you'll never move if you bring your emotions into it. She says, you need to think logically, do you know, you need to think with your mind and then bring everything about that situation or that issue into it, do you know. Don't just bring forward the good stuff, she says, because there was a bit of bad stuff that went in there as well at that situation. So you need to have a way think about like the whole thing, and then that'll then make you that decision to leave or to stay. Do you know what I mean? Some things you can't just draw a line and cross over. You know, it's what the lady's telling me. So take your time with it, please, Michelle, and then very much bring your mind into it, and then move forward for that as well. The lady's also bringing a present through to Spirit for you, and she says we need to bring this through. If you could understand that you need uplifted, this is what the present comes through for that as well. Sadly, Michelle, it's like that. I'm so sorry about that, Michelle. I'm really, really sorry. I didn't know it was that kind of way. So major condolences to you, please, Michelle, for that as well. So it is that move, do you know what I mean? And it is that shift for that as well. Now, when she made me say move, I don't know if you could understand the house move. Do you know the house move? Because she says all your memories are in here. They're not in the building. They're in here. They're up here. You've got them. You'll take them wherever you go, you know. So I don't know if you're planning a house move, Michelle, or if you're planning, you know, to move or to change. I don't think you're moving out of where you live. Do you understand? I think it's like I'm moving away for that as well. She's also put the pearls around you, and then she took them off. Pearls are for tears, and she took them off, and she says it's not that you won't cry again, it's just that you won't be crying as often, do you know. So they do please, as I say to everybody, invite your family through. Do you know, it's like, do you know what, mum or gran or granddad, I would love you to come and sit beside me. Do you know, or I would love you to come and be beside me. Invite your family members through. You might not be able to hear them, but they'll maybe share wee memories with you, like wee video clips or wee pictures that they'll do that with you as well. So it all goes hand in hand with that, okay? Again, major condolences, Michelle, for that. I hope the ladies brought some kind of comfort to you for that as well. Now, I don't know what's happened, but my cameras went off. I don't know if Stace can help me with that. No, I don't know if Stace can work with that. But as long as you can hear me, Stace, can I be heard? Camera's gone. Yeah. Can I still be heard, please? No, someone can hear you? Thank you so much. As long as you can hear me, it really doesn't matter if you see me for that also. And I thank the lady, and I thank Michelle for coming through today, and I thank the lady for coming through also. This gentleman steps forward, and he is a massive person in the family. Do you understand? Massive person in the family. Or was I? I'm so sorry for saying that. I'm always respectful of Spirit. Always. Never disrespect Spirit. This is your family. Do you know what I mean? This is your family. Anna Iva, please. Anna Iva, please. If you could come right down to the bottom again and give me a wee hello, that would be great. And Stace will probably put a wee blue bit around you. That's fine. Anna, there you are. Here, thank you so much, Anna. This gentleman, Anna, as he steps forward, is actually making me aware of the progressiveness of his illness, please, because he's making me feel that he'd got taken a little bit too soon. Do you know what I mean? So there was a progressiveness, Anna, of this gentleman's illness, do you know? So even though you thought you had like more time with the gentleman, do you know, it's just that I feel that there was a rush. He's making me feel that everything started getting rushed, and he just started to feel like that, you know, the illness really coming on to him. But he still managed to see as many as he could. Do you know, he's talking about seeing people and being with people, for that also. He says, oh my day, honestly, where he was, he's not making fun of Anna, please, that's not what he's doing. But he says it was like a turnstile. He says there was always somebody there. And he says it was just so amazing. But not just family and friends, Anna, please. There was other people that were at this gentleman's funeral also. And so it just shows you the lives that we touched. You know, we don't realise the lives that we touch. And even though it's maybe for 15 minutes by, you know, standing at a shop counter, you know, and he says, honestly, when he came to his own funeral, please, like many spirits do, and he says, I was really, really surprised because he didn't think that he was that known. Do you know what I mean? And he says it was so emotional for him, and it was so overwhelming for him at the same time. And it just shows you, you know, that people appreciate him. Do you know, this is what he's getting at, that people appreciate him. Anna, for you, let's see what we're bringing through for you, for things for you. He's making me aware that it's like, he's making me aware of, I want to say, it's not just a lift, Anna, it's yeah, no. Anna, could you understand like spiritual birthings or spiritual awakenings? Do you know, could you understand what that means, please? Do you know, it's like when you have this spiritual awakening and suddenly it's like, that's why I do that, and that's why that is. So there's a wee bit of realization that goes in there, or there's a wee bit of realization that goes in there. Do you understand awakenings, like spiritual awakenings or spiritual like vibrational shifts within you? And it's not a religious thing. It's like your body's kind of, if you've let go of stuff, do you know, Anna, if you've let go of things, or that anything on my recent romance. Let's see what the gentleman's got to say about that. It's probably the ladies that are going to like deal with that. But he is talking about the shift in the lift. I'll keep asking him while I'm doing this for that as well. If you lift yourself to a certain point, Anna, do you understand? If you lift your vibration up and you don't have that negative energy, you are sitting really, really well. Do you know what I mean? You're sitting really well. So if you understand that there was changes in adapting that you had to do to make yourself this person, do you know, for that. You're not the same person that you were like in, you know, the middle of last year for that also. And this changes things, do you know what I mean? As for your relationship there, if you could understand why I feel it's like there's a new set of rules need to be put down, because the gentleman's shown me a rule book and he's opening the rule book and he says, no, he says, let's change some of that. Do you know what I mean? That's there. So if you understand the rules of the relationship need to change because they're not favoured equally, if that makes sense to you. So I've got the rule book and he says, I'll give her that rule book. I'll tell her the new rules that need to be done, you know. So Anna, this is what's coming in. Relationships to me are a two-sided, you know, they're two-sided. You can't just have it one. And as well. And the gentleman says, no, get these new rules in place. So I'm also feeling like I'm writing some of these rules as well. Anna, he's got me down and he's got me writing some rules also. And he says, we need to create this. So new rules, new ways of doing things, do you know what I mean? But which suits your higher vibrational energy just now, you know. He says you're no longer a bit down, do you know what I mean? He says you're no longer that. He says the shift and everything that's coming back. It has to be, if he's, listen, the only thing I could tell you about that is with the new rules and the new way and the new you that's there, if he accepts everything about that, but remember this gentleman's talking about accepting everything about that, new rules include it, do you know? And if he's willing to accept, look, things have to change, we can't go on the way that we are. So if he's willing to accept the changes, because you've already made a couple of changes. So if he's willing to accept the changes and he's willing to change as well, the gentleman says that is a huge possibility. But it isn't a one-sided thing. A relationship's two people, do you know, that the gentleman's talking about for that as well. So if he can accept the rules, Anna, and he can accept the new you, fine. Do you know? But your granddad says it has to be the whole package, Anna. Do you know what I mean? It's not just, right, we'll do it for a wee while and see how it sits, do you know? So he's asking me, not asking me, he's telling me to pass positive but strong energy to you so that you're strong enough to stand up. Do you know what I mean? Strong enough to stand up for yourself for that as well. You're not the wee person that you were, Anna, and you need to acknowledge it. He says, you need to acknowledge the strength and the power that you've had and the strength and the power that you've got. He says, you have forgotten your power. And he says, let's bring more of that in, Anne. So all the best. I'm wishing you all the best in that relationship. That is lovely. I'm still not seeing any Christmas trees, ladies and gentlemen. Do you know, I do like to see the Christmas trees. Absolutely amazing. All right, let's see where this lady's taking me now. Right, Kirsty Cook, please. Kirsty Cook, if you could, if I could get you, there you are, Kirsty. Yeah, there is, actually, there is, Kirsty. I'm coming right to you for that as well. I love this block blue thing. You need to tell me how that works. Kirsty, this lady that steps forward for you is bringing a whole new warmth to you, do you know what I mean? But she's also making me feel, Kirsty, that you need kind of wrapped in a shawl just now. Now, that just tells me, when Spirit come through with that tells me that there's a huge amount of comfort that's needed for you at the moment, Kirsty, do you know what I mean? And it's not because, it's nothing to do with being down or low moods or anything like that. When we wrap a child in a shawl, we give it the utmost protection, not from danger, but just that safety feeling for that as well. So Kirsty, this lady's coming through and she's doing that with you at the moment, you know. She said that she started about November this year and last year, listen to me. She said that she started about October, November this year, Kirsty, and she's just making me feel, she says, I've still got her. Do you know, I'm still holding on to her. I'm still cuddling her in. Do you know, it's what this lady's making me feel. There's a gentleman that steps at the back of this lady, and as this gentleman steps forward, he wasn't very old when he passed, Kirsty, do you understand? I'm getting like, probably like, I don't want to say late 40s, but definitely sort of early to mid 50s with this gentleman, Kirsty, if you could understand this gentleman. And it was very quick, and it was very sudden, and it was very much, nobody knew. Do you know what I mean? He's just making me feel, Kirsty, that his passing shocked many people, you know, because, you know, when you hear somebody passing and you're like, no, it can't be because I just spoke to him, or it can't be, I've just seen him, you know. And Kirsty's like absolutely making me feel that, do you know, he's making me feel that loss that was there, do you know, for that also. He's also making me aware that he's smoothing the path out for you. Isn't it amazing how Spirit do things and help us? He's smoothing the path out for you, Kirsty, and he's making me feel, he says, listen, he says, this is that. And then I know he said listen first, but then what he showed me was, he showed me like a light that was coming down into your crown chakra. Now, your crown chakra is your divine connection. And that is then when you're getting like downloads. So, Kirsty, if you could understand your dreams being a wee bit weird recently, or maybe they've always been weird, but we're bringing different energies into things just now because of the way the planet is. I know it's a bit weird, but then here we go. And he's making me feel that you are getting these, Kirsty, do you understand? Getting this information, getting this stuff given to you, do you know? And he says it's bringing you comfort. Now, I remember when my dad passed, I used to, do you know, if I was walking along the high street, do you know, the shopping centres and that, and I used to hear him saying my name, do you know, and I knew that it wasn't him, but I would still turn round because it was so vivid in my ears, do you know, so strong in my ears. So, Kirsty, if you could understand this gentleman that you were still able to hear him call you or say your name in public or say your name, Kirsty, if that makes sense to you, you could take the dreams. When it comes to these dreams, Kirsty, because they're downloads, spiritual downloads, you need to get these written down. Please, it's really important, because what Spirit's giving you is they're giving you information to help you in the weeks to come or in the months to come. So date it, get as much information, how you felt, what you've seen, colours, anything. Get as much information packed into that, because this is a premonition thing they're giving you. If you can remember your dreams, if you could remember your dreams, they're dreams. If you can't remember your dreams, they're downloads. So this is what Spirit is bringing to you, Kirsty, okay? So get yourself a bit of notepad and that at the side of your bed, or use your phone to do that as well. This gentleman has shown me lots and lots of board games. Do you know what I mean? I used to love this on Christmas morning. And he's showing me the lots of board games and that, do you know, like Monopoly and all these things, do you know, for that as well. But for some reason, like many families, he's put the Monopoly underneath the couch. He went, oh, we're not doing that again. Do you know what I mean? So if you could understand the tempers maybe would have been raised slightly, Kirsty, with the Monopoly board, as it kind of does, do you know, for that as well. The gentleman's also put 2, don't ask me the numbers, he's put 2 lottery tickets in front of me. So there's 2 wins that are coming through for you for next year now as well. And he says that the first one, he says, a little bit, he says, but do you know what? He says, that's okay, because he says it'll pull you out of something. So when you win that money, do you understand, it will go towards something in the weeks to come, and you'll be so glad. You're like, oh, thank goodness I won that amount, because then it pays for, do you know, for that as well. The other amount that he's given me is like a monthly thing. Do you know, I feel like I'm doing this regularly, do you know, like a monthly thing. So that could be like a wage rise or something like that. And talking about your job, would you understand, Kirsty, why he says you're a bit too good for it? He says you're a bit too good for that job, Kirsty. Do you know what I mean? He says you should be doing something else. It's something to do with like not getting, because he's taking me up with you. So it's like maybe something to do with like not getting promoted or not getting that promotion, do you know? And he says, look, he says, as you know, it's time. Do you know, he says, you know, it's time. And he's talking about starting putting the feelers out for like different things. And he says, it's no always where you start. Do you know what I mean? So wherever this next path takes you, it might not be the same path as you've been walking just now. Okay. Also aware, I'm very much aware of the time, and I'm trying to get as many as I can. Also aware of the songs he's talking about. So he's very big with music, this gentleman, but he is talking about certain songs. And I love the way Spirit make us or put us in a place where we can hear a song, do you know, and it reminds you of other people, do you know, it reminds you of people that have passed. So if you could understand the songs, Kirsty, do you know, if you understand being somewhere and it's like, oh my God, I've not heard that song for ages, and there's a jointness with you and this gentleman, do you understand? So it'll give you a good memory of the time that he was here, do you know? So just be aware of the music that's getting played through stores and shops and things like that. But he says, listen, you'll not be able to like ignore this one. I don't know what it is. He's not giving me it in my ears. He's not giving me it. So I don't know which one it is, but he says, listen, he says, you'll know it when you know it. Do you know what I mean? For that as well. Thank you so much, Kirsty, and thank you to the lady and the gentleman who came forward for that as well. The lady's put like a big thick scarf round about you, so do you know what? Get all warmed up. Do you know, she's actually tucking it in your coat and wearing it for that as well. She's making me smile. She's so lovely. Kirsty, thank you so much for working with me. Let's see who this gentleman's going to. Kirsty, I'll take the headphones thing, but unless you've got that song on your playlist, it's not going to happen. So you might need to get your headphones off for a little bit. I've had people switching music on in the car and a song comes on. Absolutely aware. Now, who's this lady's taking me to? Susan, is it yourself? I love the Christmas trees, Susan Ross. Can I have your attention, please? Can I have you, Susan Ross, coming into me, please? Susan Ross, that would be lovely. This lady's like standing next to me. She's a very patient lady, but not normally, please. So Susan Ross, please, if I can find you. There you are. See, Stacey's on the ball. She knows how to do all this. So Susan Ross, hi. What the lady's like given for me, as Susan is like, I feel that this lady had quite a long like illness, but not a lot of pain with this illness. I do feel slight dementia or slight Alzheimer's, but not full blown with this lady. Do you know what I mean? It's like she's giving me that feeling. She says that was later and later, do you know, when she's speaking for that as well. She's quite a lovely energy, do you know, she's got quite a beautiful energy as she's standing beside me. And she's just making me aware now, her house would have been packed, do you know, today it would have been packed, but she would have started doing everything like about last week, do you know, and it's like, no, I need to get things ready. So she liked to get things prepared and she liked to get things ready, not just Christmas, but any function, do you know what I mean, that's there. The lady's talking about a christening, so I don't know if you could understand whose christening she attended or the christening that's maybe coming up, I don't know, but she just gave me the word christening for that as well. Susan, you're welcome. And very much when she's talking about this, it's like a celebration of life, it's like a celebration of things. Susan, if you could understand celebrating this lady's life, a little bit, she says it was a little bit different, she says, but she absolutely appreciated it. So she's making me feel that there was people can talk about her now, without getting so really badly upset, Susan. Do you know what I mean? And she says it's great. And there was she's shown me people in a living room or in a house and sharing their experiences with this lady. It's like, I remember when we went shopping and we did this. I remember when we took her for her birthday here. Or I remember. So there's a lot of remembering that's going on, Susan, at this time. Do you know what I mean? Not just particularly now, but there was a day that happened that she says, and I stood there. She did get a wee bit emotional. She says, I stood there, but she also had a good laugh at some of them as well. Do you know? I can't wait till I get to that really old age where I can just come out with things and get away with it. And this lady knew, do you understand, Susan? This lady knew when she was getting away with stuff, do you know what I mean? And she says it was like, I just felt a bit cheeky sometimes, so she would just come out with things, for that as well. I am seeing, or she is showing me, a gold locket. It's not a very big one, please. And it's got two pictures in it. It's got the two pictures in it of a male and a gentleman, of a male and a female. And it's this lady's in one of them. I'm just presuming that the other gentleman's maybe her husband. I don't know. But I'm seeing it's not a very large locket. It's very nice. A wee bit ornate, but not all the way around, and for that also. It doesn't get used a lot though, Susan, do you understand? It doesn't go on the person's neck a lot for the fear of, and we all know that fear that something so precious can maybe come off when we're down at the shopping centre or out for a night out, So she says, I totally understand why that gets taken off and left, for that also. Now, I know it's a recent thing, but maybe not so recent because my mum did it. They did it when my mum passed, and they're able to take a fingerprint. I don't know if you know anything about that, but they're able to take a fingerprint and it gets put on it could get put on a necklace, it could get put on a small pendant or a bracelet or things like that, and it's this fingerprint that's there. So if you could understand the fingerprint of this lady, Susan, I don't know if that makes any sense to you, but that's what she showed me was the fingerprint for that as well. The lady wants to bring forward a massive bunch of yellow roses for you, please, Susan. And yellow roses, sign of love for the roses, but friendship for the yellow. So if you could understand, this lady wasn't just related to you, she was a friend also, because I've got the friendship link that comes in with that. And she is making me feel that, she's making me feel it was more than just a relationship, and she doesn't like using the word just for that also, for things as well. The lady's taking me to September next year, please, for a special occasion, and she's very much aware of that. She's also taking me into March, and she says March is like, let me get this right. She says March is like coming into yourself kind of thing. Like becoming yourself, because she's talking about these light bulb moments that you've been having recently. And she says, listen, she says that I know they're getting more rapid. I know they're becoming more there. So these light bulb moments, these epiphanies, these ideas that you've got, she says, listen, they're not good in your head, Susan. They need to be put into practice. She says, we need to bring it into practice for that as well. I don't know if it's you or not, but I'm seeing the Reiki symbols above where this lady's sitting with me, and I see the Reiki symbols being put above me, and I'm very much aware of the healing side of that. So there's two ways that can go, Susan. It's like you maybe need healing, you maybe need that spiritual Reiki healing, or you have thought about doing Reiki healing. Do you know that's there? I do angelic healing. It's just it blows me away, the energy that can be gifted and given to someone. So you're either needing birthday in March, perfect. She says happy birthday. She says, but listen, I'll be through before that. Now that is a promise, the lady says. So wherever you're going to be, whether it's church, readings, wherever it is, she says she's coming through just before that. She says, because it needs to happen for that as well. Because it's your birthday, she's given me a surprise for you, do you understand? She's put the beautiful parcel in front of me. And that just tells me it's like it's a piece of good fortune or a piece of something that you've been looking for that as well. The lady's also showing me, the fact is, Susan, that she says the training wheels need to come off now. Do you know, she says, let's get the training wheels off. She says, it's about time you stood up and stand up. for who you are, you know. So it's a case of like shoulders back. If you could see me, this is what I'd be doing. Shoulders back, chin up, let's have this. She says, this is a force. And she's talking about you used to be, please. You used to be a force to be reckoned with. And then life kind of happens, you know, as I say, we lose people and families and, you know, different things happen in life. And it's usually like that. But when you come out from all that, the lady's talking about like standing up for yourself now, Susan. Do you know what I mean? Healing is important. I love a good Reiki healing. And it's not the same when you give yourself self-healing though, Susan. But please take all the love for the lady. Do you know what I mean? Please, absolutely. They've all been gems today. And I'm very honoured I get to meet all your family. Do you know what I mean? So blessings to the lady and blessings to yourself, Susan, for that as well. Let's see. I've got a gentleman coming forward. Where is he taking me? Now, do you know, see when Spirit take me to like certain people and I really can't pronounce names. So Susie, I hope you can take this. I am looking to connect with Pamela Greatorex. Pamela, if I know I've pronounced it wrong and I really do apologise. Pamela Greatorex, please, if you can give me a hello, that would be fantastic. And again, I am very, very sorry. Pamela Greatorex, please, if you can give me a hi. I've got a gentleman standing beside me, please. And he's a very, Pamela, thank you. Pamela, there you are. Pamela, I really do apologise, honestly. Unless I hear it, I don't know what it sounds like. So major apologies for getting your second name wrong for that as well. But I try and do my best with pronunciations. Pamela, see with this gentleman when he's talking to me and he's making me feel quite a fast speaker with him, and he's like that. No, listen, I've got what's that? And he's like, listen, he says, we need to get things sorted, we need to get things done. So he's making me feel that there's a rush on round about you just now, do you know? And he says, she's here, there and everywhere, not just Christmas, do you understand? He says you're like that in general, do you know? He says you're like that in general. He says you're always rushing about and always like trying to do things and always trying to get things done. And he says, oh my days, he says the energy, do you know? He says you're burning and you're burning. He's concerned that you're burning yourself out, Pamela. That is the main concern about this gentleman for you today. He says, listen, everything's going to be all right, do you know? And he's making me feel that. He's showing me papers to get signed, please, Pamela. Do you understand? He's showing me papers that need to be signed. And he says, listen, he says, see when you put your I know there's lots to do, but listen, if you're doing all the cooking, Pamela, somebody else should be doing the dishes. So, and he's talking about these papers being signed, Pamela. And again, it's nothing to do with intelligence, as I say this. Somebody else needs to read those papers before you sign that, right? Because it's just to get a fresh pair of eyes on it, to make sure that everything's kosher, do you understand? To make sure everything's okay, and then sign it. Do you know what I mean? You do. We all need to do it. We're so bad. We should have a World Rest Day, do you know? For certain countries, it would be amazing. And he's making me feel these papers are really important to you. So this is why it's not that you're not clever. It's just that getting a fresh pair of eyes on it. Do you know what I mean? Before you sign whatever this is, do you know? But he says, listen, he says, see, once it's signed, he's making me feel that I'm exhaling. Do you know, he's making me feel that I've got this big exhale. So whatever that signature represents, it's almost like that's it. We're done. Do you know what I mean? And he's making me feel that I can then breathe again for that. So Pamela is just making me feel, he says, it'll do the world good to get this done, do you know? But he says it's taken, that's my Scottishness, it's taken a little bit longer to come through than it should have, do you know, for that also. I'm also seeing, I don't know if you do, but he's showing me somebody skiing. So I don't know if there's a skiing holiday or you've been on a skiing holiday. I don't know what that is. But the way he's showing me the skis and the person on the skis, Pamela, he's showing me a person on skis. But see, when you see it like people skiing down a slope, they've got to bob and weave through the trees. Do you know what I mean? He's not doing that with you. He's just making me feel that I'm and it's not that you're going downhill, please. It's nothing to do with that at all. He's just making me feel the speed of it, do you know, that's there. And then he kind of brings that to a plateau. Do you know, he just brings that to a flat piece. And it's like I'm just looking at this beautiful scenery. Do you know, this beautiful scenery. So sometimes it's time to just take time out, do you know, for that also. I want to bring, he's bringing loads of yellow flowers through to you. No, not the skiing. I know I tried it once. Not keen. I didn't go that high up, so I was okay. He's brought through a lot of yellow flowers for you, daisies, tulips. roses. Do you know, he's brought through all the yellow flowers for you for that as well. And they've still got a lot of their stem on them, which is like a lot of healing. So if you could understand that you need energy healing, Pamela, do you understand there's energy healing that's needed? I'm very much aware of my time. I've only got like a few minutes. Very much aware of my time, and it's energy healing, but the yellow's for upliftment and uplifting energy that's coming through for that as well. He says, listen, he says, just, you know, he says, we need to switch off for a wee while. Do you know, we need to do that for a wee while. Easy for spirit to do, not the thing. It's hard for us to do it, but absolutely there. So the yellow energy, celebration and upliftment, that's what he's bringing through to you. The green is to do with like the healing, but it's also to do with the green for the heart as well. If you're into crystals, Pamela, a nice wee sort of heart crystal, but you still need a wee throat crystal that brings that in for that as well. Okay, Pamela, thank you for working with it for me and the gentleman for that as well. No, I know. That's how he made me feel. But he made me feel, Pamela, that it wasn't like exhaustion, like tiredness. Do you know what I mean? It made me feel like it was fatigue. And there's people are like, they're the same thing. They're definitely not the same thing. If you've got fatigue when you come home, like I said earlier to a lady, you're maybe giving too much of your energy away. Do you know? So try and hold that in. If you've got the crystals, absolutely. I want to put the amethyst at your bed, please. I want to put the rose quartz, obviously, at your heart. But I want to put blue here. So you're looking at lapis or you're looking at sodalite here. And then I want to put the amethyst on your third eye. Lie down, meditate with that. Let that energy come in and around you, please. I want to bring Archangel Raphael to you as well, please, Pamela. Right, let's see who this lady's taking me to. Let's see. Right. Rosa, please. Rose, I do apologise. Rosa Rozov. Again, apologies, please. Rosa Rozov, please, or Rozovie. I'm so sorry. Rosa, thank you. You do what angels? Yeah, because they know. Rosa Rozovie, please. I do apologise, honestly. Where's Rosa? Where is she? Rosa, if you can give me a hello, please. I've got a gentleman and a lady here. Rosa, please. I've only got a couple of minutes. Darling, please just give me one of your Rosa, please, if you could I've got a lady and a gentleman here. Where are you? There she's there, but I just need her at the front. I need her down at the bottom. Rosa, hopefully you can still hear me, please. If you can just give me a wee hello, that would be amazing. The gentleman that stands beside me is a very strong, and he's the type of gentleman that you could lean on. Do you know, he's the type of gentleman that you can depend on. Do you know, he's giving me that feeling of him, Rosa. And Rosa is just making me feel that there's like, it's not that you took advantage of anything, do you understand? But he says, listen, I'm still going to give you that. Do you know, he says, I'm still going to give you that support. That's the word that he's bringing forward. Rosa, if you can give me a hello, I would love to know that you're still there while I'm giving this message of this gentleman through. Rosa, please come back to me. And this gentleman is quite a strong man. Do you know, he is quite a strong man. Oh my God, it's a flick of a button. Rosa, he's just made me feel that he's quite a strong character and he's quite a strong man, and he would have held the family up. Do you know what I mean? That he's making me feel, Rosa. So Rosa, please give me a wee hello so I know you're still there. He's bringing forward like, it's almost like he's put like a ball of energy around your home at the moment. And he says it's not for like horrible, it's not for protection against anything negative, Rosa. Do you understand? It's to because life buffers us. Do you know, life comes at us and things in life come at us, Rosa. And he's just making me feel that it's like, I'd love Rosa to come back on, please. And he's just making me feel, he says it's to buffer life for you. Do you know? And he says it's just to make things not as harsh for you or not as hard for you, Rosa. Do you know what I mean? When he's coming through with that. Rosa, please come on. He's also making me aware of not just the pushing and the shoving, but Rosa, if you could understand, it's like people are trying to get you to move on quicker than you are. Do you know, me personally, Rosa, do you know what I mean? It's like, it is absolutely to do with the fact is everybody grieves in a certain way and everybody grieves differently. Do you know, we all do our different ways to cope with the grieving process. But he's making me feel somebody's trying to get you out. Do you know, they're trying to get you like out. You need to get out. You need to like come. Do you know what I mean? Do this, do that. For that as well. Oh, I feel bad for Rosa because it's a message and a half. And he is making me aware, and he says, no, my shoulder's still there. He says, my shoulder's still there. I will be there all the time. Do you know that he's bringing that forward for that as well? I'm very much feeling it's like with this lady, with this gentleman, he's just making me feel, he says, listen, he says, let's just take it one at a time. Let's just tackle it one thing at a time, do you know? So if you could understand mails, Rosa, there's like mail, like letters or correspondence. Now I'm saying letters, but it could be emails. Do you know what I mean? We're just talking about correspondence, Rosa. And he is just making me feel, he says, let's just do it one at a time. He says, you're looking at the whole thing, and he says, we can't do the whole thing. And you can't do nothing just now, Rosa. Do you know what I mean? He says, you can't do nothing just now. Rosa, please give me a hello so I know you're still there. And he just says, didn't do it all at once. He says, it's there. You're refusing help, he says, Rosa. And he says, we didn't want to see that either. He says, people want to help you. Do you know? So if they can help you with the stick that you're in, do you know, he's making me feel that there's a stickness or stuck feeling in and around you, Rosa. And he is just making me feel, he says, we will do this, we will get this done, do you know? And he's absolutely aware of like all the energy that's coming through. And he says, you can feel this, do you know? He says he's very much a way to feel this for that as well. There's something about plumbing, don't know, but if he was there, he says, I'm naked at that, do you know what I mean? So he's naked at the DIY stuff. He says, no, he says, I dealt with everything else. He says, DIY stuff's a phone call to a plumber, do you know, that he's meaning for that. So if plumbers or DIY resonates with you, Rosa, absolutely, do you know what I mean, for that as well. And he just brings all the love and all the problem. Just take your time, he says, for that as well. So thanks for it. I'm very much aware of time. I know it's 12 o'clock, and I'm having to leave for just now because I know that there's a schedule that we've all got to follow today. So Susie, if you could just pop on and just help me, if that's you said I could just ask for help if I need it, for that as well. I'd like to thank everybody that came on today. Do you know, I'd like to thank you all for your lovely wee Christmas trees and everything that came on for that as well. So Susie, could you come on please and just let me know how this all happens? That would be lovely. She's maybe went and made herself a cup of tea. I could have gotten another message in by this time. Oh, there you are. There you are.
It's Stacey, not Susie.
Oh, what did I say?
Susie.
Oh,
which is interesting because I have a cousin in spirit called Susan.
Is that?
So how scary is that? Hello, everybody, and Merry Christmas. I hope you're all well. That's it from Jeanette this morning. I'd like to thank you for her time and taking time out to stay for us all. Have a really good day. We have Christine Stewart on at 4 p.m. So please join us for that for chance of more readings. Have a great day and a great Christmas, everybody. Bye.
Merry Christmas, everybody. Thank you.